Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we still had a pretty inconsistent end to the season. However, we did make the playoffs with a 46-32-4 record, and I feel like since we just barely squeaked into the playoffs, maybe we have the chance to be one of those teams that are way better than their team actually suggests and manage to go on a good run in the playoffs. So I think our team could probably cheese a lot of teams out of their wins. I feel like our record doesn't actually reflect basically what our roster looks like on paper. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we could easily be a cheese team that knocks out, say, Nashville, who just won the President's Trophy. We could knock out any team that's above us technically in the standings. So I think we have a good chance this year at potentially going far, but obviously it depends on if the simulation is actually working like that or if it wants us to be a first-round exit yet again. But anyways, during the regular season, like I said, it was an interesting season. We had a little bit of injury trouble. We also just could not find that consistency in terms of winning games. But one thing that was kind of surprising was Aiden Irving only played 42 games, so he missed 40 games due to injury this season, injuring himself 2 times. One of them he was all the way out till February, and then the other one he missed like another 2 weeks or something like that. But he was still over point per game with 52 points in 42 games, so if we were healthy all year round, maybe we would have been even better than we currently are. So that's why I'm thinking maybe we could have actually a pretty good playoff run. And yeah, it was very good depth scoring on this roster. Like, I was very impressed with everybody on this team. There was some minus players, but obviously you would kind of get that type of result from those type of players. Like Kavusar is more offensively driven. Vernarski was in his first season, so I don't blame him at all. And Mishenko is just not really that much of a good player anyways. So it was an injury-riddled season in a sense, and we didn't get the best results in terms of some things, but I think we still should have a pretty good playoff run ahead, hopefully, if my theory is correct. We also had a combined 9 shutouts from our 2 goalies, so the goalies did their job when they had to, but they didn't have the best save percentages and all that, so it is a little bit worrisome that our goaltending might not live up to expectation in the playoffs, but we are kind of running out of time to potentially win another Stanley Cup because we only have a few more seasons left of this. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we probably have like another 7 more seasons left of this franchise mode before we're actually right to the end of the franchise mode. And who knows, maybe the series will actually come to an end earlier than that if we get in retirement to like Aiden Irving or something like that. Maybe we'll end up doing that recap type of thing that Saturn Otaku was suggesting. But anyways, there is all that, and I will show you guys what Nashville's looking like again, just in case you forgot. There was no comments because I am recording this currently on Sunday. I don't know why I'm recording a little bit early, but it's just because basically once next episode goes up, I'll probably have already been pre-recording the episodes for when I'm gone in British Columbia. So just a little reminder that there'll be 3 episodes out, 1 episode every week of this series and the other series that I put out during those spans. So I'm only putting out 9 videos instead of 18 videos because pre-recording 18 videos takes a lot of time. 9 videos is already going to take like 4 hours or something like that. So I decided just to cut it completely in half, my upload schedule. So just a little reminder on that front. So anyways, this is what Nashville is looking like. As you can see, they won the President's Trophy. Like I mentioned, they have a very good top line of Boyton, Motto, and Cons. Cons and Motto are getting a little bit older at this stage. Boyton, I guess, is kind of as well. So these 3 guys all could be retirement candidates before the end of the season, or not the season, the series, I should say. Second line has Dadonov, Byfield, and Luongo. Third line, Bentley, Baudouin, and Novoseltsev. And a fourth line of Goudreau, Sim, and Bouillon. Their forward group is actually pretty old. I didn't even actually look at ages. And now that I'm looking at it, the youngest guys on this forward group are 28 years old. So it is a veteran-heavy team in Nashville, at least on offense. And then from a defensive standpoint, they look like this. Fairchild's only 23. But, yeah, they have some young defensemen. Fairchild, Lachance, and Levasseur, but everybody else on this team seems to be pretty damn old because Rodin's even 33 as a starter, and their backup is 27 years old too. So they are a little bit of an old team, and maybe we could take advantage of them from that. I don't know how much playoff experience the Nashville Predators have in the series so far. Not really that much. It looks like they have never made it past the second round, so that is quite surprising because with Boyden being 30 years old, you think they would have at least made it a little bit further than that. What about with Motto's career? So he's only played 46 career playoff games, and he's got 54 points. He's already 35, so this might be one of his last runs out of Stanley Cup. So Nashville's definitely going to try pretty hard, I think, against us, but I feel like almost like we are kind of a cheese team. Like we're way better than we actually suggest based on the record. Like this is what our lineup is looking like going into the playoffs at the moment. We got Irving, Ekholm, Jacuzzi, Blunden, Bickle, Bolbrook, Walter, Vernarski, Calvusari, and Bohms, Harrison, Waters. Defensively is Vandermeer, Backer, Visainen, Kress, and DePenta, Scarlett. And then our goaltending tandem is obviously Bergqvist and Kalinin. So yeah, we have a very good-looking team for a team that just barely found its way into the playoffs. So I think we should have a good run, but obviously the game could just throw a complete curveball at us too, because maybe it wants us to think that way, but maybe it won't end up like that. So very excited to see what ends up happening in this playoffs. Hopefully we have a good run, like I said, because obviously we've kind of been trending backwards the last number of years, and it would be nice to get ourselves another Stanley Cup before the series ends. But then again, we've won so many Stanley Cups that it doesn't matter that much, but I would still like to see if we could win some more before guys like Aiden Irving decide to call quits. But anyways, let's get into game number 1 in Nashville at the Bridgestone Arena. Let's see if we could take a 1-0 series lead. We're going to keep the team the exact same for now. And obviously, if we don't play good, we can make some adjustments to try and get ourselves some wins. At least we have Aiden Irving back in the lineup, and we're back to full health for the start of the playoffs, because that's pretty huge in terms of maybe giving us a good chance this year. First period of game number 1. Scoreless, I'll take it. That's actually not a bad first period. Obviously, it would be nice for us to score some goals in that first period, considering we outshot them 13-6. But the fact that we didn't give up a goal either is nice to see. Not a lot of shots for them after the first period. Hopefully we contain that top line still, because like I said, that top line is very filthy. They had over 100 points each during the season. So it's a very good top line in Nashville. If we can contain them, we should be able to contain the rest of the team base. We were looking at their player stats during the regular season in the last episode, and if I'm not mistaken, their entire top line was like plus 50 something and plus minus. But then you get into like their bottom 6 and bottom 9. A lot of those guys had minuses and stuff like that. So they're a very top line heavy team. If we can contain that, maybe we have a chance here. Second period. 1-0 Preds. They actually opened the scoring. It's Boyton. Of course, it's a top liner after I was just mentioning her top line. Should not have mentioned them, because once you mention them, it's like they appear out of nowhere. Shots are 20-19 in favor of the Preds now, so they had a very good second period in terms of shots on net, and Bergqvist finally buckled with like 10 minutes left pretty much. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the third period? Because I do not want to get our offense completely snuffed out, so to speak, because we should be still a good offensive team in this playoffs as well, even though we were going up against a good defensive-ish team in the Preds. So let's see what happens in this third period, see if we can find a way to tie this game up at 1. Penalty kill to start the third. They get a power play goal immediately from Boyton, and he scores again. Boyton's got a hat trick in game 1. Well, that's not great. And Motto scores too. Maybe it's their top line's actually going to do good. Bonaway makes it 5-0. This is not a great way to start our first playoffs back. Well, actually not first playoffs back, but back-to-back first-round exits would not be good for this team, and that's a horrible way to start the playoffs. And I still feel like we could still win this series, because obviously we just had a really bad defensive game, but I'm trying to think of what we would be like if we were the Winnipeg Jets and we just won the President's Trophy and we were going to be a first-round exit, right, after a really good season. Basically what would happen, we would blow out the other team in the first game, just like now. We just lost in the first game by a blowout. But then afterwards, we'd give up barely anything. So I think afterwards we might be okay in terms of defense. But I'm still going to make some adjustments, because there's no question about it. That was a really rough first game. And yeah, their top line went completely to work. Motto had 4 points. Collins had 2 points. Boynton had a hat trick. If we can't contain that top line, like I mentioned, we are in a very bad spot. So Rodin might have shut us out in this game, but I'm hoping that we could actually respond in the next game as well, because I do think we have a chance still to win the series, but obviously after a game like that, it does not look very nice, especially if their top line is going to produce like that. But I still believe in the Cheese that we could find a way to tie this series up, because we definitely need our offense going. We need our defense to play better and our goaltending as well, if we want a chance at winning another Stanley Cup this year. And also, like I said, this could be potentially Aiden Irving's last playoff run. Who knows if he retires in this episode. I hope he doesn't. I hope he comes back for another year. But at the same time, it would free us up some cap space. We'll keep with Bergqvist for now, just because he is the overall better guy. But let's go back to Kress and Vandermeer, even though that wasn't great together during the regular season. We'll go back to Backer and Visainen. Yeah, we'll go something like that. And then from an offensive standpoint, was there anybody that was really badly minus in that first game? That second line was affected mostly. Okay. So the second line was affected. So what we're going to do here is we are going to, let's see what I could do. If there's anything I can do. There's not really much I can do to get that chemistry better. I might honestly have to just keep it the same for now. Yeah, I think I'll keep the forward group the same. Our penalty kill was pretty bad in that first game, so maybe we want to address the penalty kill. Fernarski, Jaqueezi, that's okay. Bohms, Harrison. Maybe I should put Aiden Irving back on the first unit instead of Jaqueezi. Let's do that, because Aiden Irving is the GOAT. So let's just get Aiden Irving a little bit more ice time and get Jaqueezi onto the third unit with Bickle. That's going to be our only adjustment. And yeah, I'm still hoping that Jaqueezi isn't too expensive in the offseason, because we might have to free up a lot of cap space, because this could potentially be his last year in Winnipeg if we can't free up enough cap space in the offseason. So there's a lot riding on this season for us to go far in the playoffs. So let's see if we have a good response in Game 2. You don't lose the series until you lose one on your own home ice. So even if we lose this game, we could still win 2 games on our home ice and tie the series back up. So I don't think we're out of the series yet for sure. Let's see if we have a good response in Game 2, play better defensively, because we had a good first period and good second period in goals against, but that third period is when we fell apart. So can we have a good defensive Game 2, and can we find our offense, which has been nowhere so far at this point? First period of game number 2. 1-1, I'll take it. Boynton opens the scoring again. So yeah, Avery Boynton is completely tearing us apart. He's got 4 goals already through 4 periods of hockey. So he's scoring a goal a period, which is not great. We got to kind of contain that if we want to win this series. And then Bulbrook has tied the game up. So Bulbrook, our first goal scorer of the playoffs. Shots are 13-6. So once again, we are out shooting them by like double. I think that was the exact same shot total after the first period in the last game. So we are still outplaying them, but we allowed them to get back into it in the shots in the second period. So that's where we do not want them to get any chances in the second period, and see if we could find that lead as well. Because if we could find that lead, maybe we'll have a better chance in the third period. Second period. 2 on us. Let's go. Vernarski scores his first career playoff goal. That's a big one. Shots are 22-15. We're up by a goal. Hopefully we can get some insurance and lock this game down. But this is basically exactly what I was kind of expecting after a 5-0 blowout game, for us to all of a sudden play good defensively. And who knows, maybe we could fall apart in this third period, but right now we're playing good defensively. We got our offense going a little bit. We just need to find a way to get some insurance. So let's see if we can get that insurance marker early in the third, so that way we have a little bit more of a resting space for the rest of the game. Third period underway, is still up by 1 goal. Can we get an insurance marker? Let's call on Aiden Irving, considering he's the captain, he's the GOAT. Will he be able to score a goal in this third period or not? Still up by a goal. And there we go. Bulbrook scores another goal. 7 pulls the Nashville Predators back within 1. That's not great. But Bulbrook's got 2 goals tonight. And no! Gaudreau ties it up. Are you kidding me, Bergfist? I was not expecting that. When we had that 3-1 lead, I thought that was going to be like lights out. But they scored literally 7 seconds later. And then Gaudreau scored with 52 seconds left. That's not good. We need to find a way to win this game, because if we end up losing this game, like I said, we have to win both games on home ice, which is not as hard as winning on the road, but still, that's a little bit of a tougher hill to climb than obviously having a tie series. So who wants to be the hero for us? So far, Bulbrook's got 2 goals. I'm going to call on Aiden Irving again, just because he's always the kind of guy that shows up in these big moments. So can he do it in overtime, or anybody on our team do it for that matter? Let's see what happens in OT. Come on, guys. Please tie it up. Penalty kill. Nicely done, penalty killers. Oh, you gotta be joking me, and it's Boynton again. Well, Boynton's got 5 goals in 2 games against us, and after having a 3-1 lead, we blow it and lose 4-3 as we've lost both games in Nashville, and now we gotta win games on home ice. Maybe I had a bit too much confidence going into the series that we'd actually do good against a good team. Bulbrook from Bickle, we had Vernarski from Walter, and Bulbrook from Blunden. Jeez, Boynton is completely tearing us apart. He had 3 points in that game. Collins had 4 assists. Yeah, maybe this is the year that Nashville's actually able to get it done. Because like I said, they haven't been able to get it past the second round so far in the series, it seems like, or at least in the last 10 years or so. But we're being outscored 9-3 after 2 games, so we got to make some adjustments here. I just don't really know exactly what. I might move Aiden Irving down to like the second line to try and spark some things a bit and get Bulbrook into the top line or something like that. There's nobody from the AHL I would call up at this stage because there is Kang, Hagelin, those type of guys, but I'll wait till next season probably on them. So those guys aren't a huge rush. Goalies, there's nobody. I'm probably going to start Kalina next game as well, which might be a controversial thing to do. Let's go Blunden top line, Irving second line, and we'll go Kabusari second line. Bulbrook has been one of our best players, though. Jaquezi has been kind of bad, to be honest. Let's get Jaquezi on the third line, Bulbrook on the top line. I don't really even know. I'm just going to really adjust this randomly and see if it helps. And then from a defensive standpoint, we're going to go with something. Let me just take a look. That doesn't affect anything whatsoever. I do not like that -3. Not one bit. Not one bit. I guess we'll have to keep with this. Unless I decide to swap that. Let's swap that for something different. And yeah, Bergfist has been bad. He's not stopping a beach ball like he was before. And then Kalinin, we'll put him in net. So Bergfist has still been really streaky in terms of the playoffs because last year he was really good. The year before that he was pretty solid. The year before that he could not stop anything, and then the years before that he was really good. So I don't really know what to make of Bergfist. He is getting closer to being a pending UFA. He's only got one more year after this year, so we're getting to that point where we're going to start losing some guys that won multiple cups with us and all that, which is kind of concerning, but it is what it is, part of the business. We got to find ways to win on home ice. Like I said, you do not lose a series until you lose a game on home ice. So if we can find a way to win both these games, we'll be back to square one. If we lose one game, though, we are going to have a massive hill to climb, and there's going to be a hard chance that we probably don't win. So let's see what happens in Game 3. We've readjusted our lines randomly. We'll see if that ends up helping us. If not, I honestly don't know what the answer is for something like Boyton, because Boyton, Cons, and then Motto have all just been really good against us so far. So like I was mentioning in the last episode and early in this episode, we got to contain that line if we want to have a chance to win games. So hopefully that starts tonight. Hopefully we find a way to not have those guys on the score sheet, because if they do score goals, there's a higher chance that they're obviously going to win. But here we go. Game number 3. We're back on home ice. Can we get back into the series? And can we start playing our good defensive hockey and start scoring more goals? First period of Game 3. Scoreless. Okay. Once again, we're out shooting them after one. So that's been the story the last 3 games. However, last 3 games. However, it seems like afterwards in the second period and beyond, we just start to fall off a bit. So we got to keep our foot on the gas and have a good response in the second period. Find a way to get the first goal of the game. Maybe get some extra goals in case. But let's not give up anything in the second period, please, boys. Second period. 1-1, I'll take it. Bulbrook scores again. So Bulbrook's been our best player. He's got 3 goals in the series, but Cons ties it up. Like I said, do not allow their top line to score goals. Well, we allowed them to score a goal. Shots are 21-18 in favor of us. It's a 1-1 game. Kalinan's been playing solid so far in this one, but can we find a way to get that lead back in this third period? This is a massive third period, because if we lose it, we need to win 4 straight games and reverse sweep them, which maybe that's what the game's trying to go for, is make us reverse sweep them. I could see that happening, but at the same time, I can't too. So honestly, I have no idea what's in store for this team at this point, but let's see what happens in period number 3. Can we get that lead? We've had that lead once in this game so far. It would be nice to get it again. Can Aiden Irving get on the board too? Because he's been pretty quiet, which is unlike him quite a bit, as well as Vandermeer. He's been kind of quiet too. A lot of guys on this team actually have been quiet because our offense just isn't flowing that well. And we're going to another overtime situation. Last time we were in overtime, obviously, we lost and went down 2-0. If we win this overtime, we're back in the series, potentially. If we lose this, we got a hill to climb, like I said, and who knows, even if we climb to the top of that hill, which is Game 7, we might still suffocate at the end and lose in Game 7. So this is a massive overtime. Who wants to be the hero for us in OT? Who do I want to call on? Bulbrook's been our best player, but I want to call up on somebody random like, maybe like Bohms. It would be interesting if Bohms scored considering he's a 4th liner, but let's see who ends up scoring for us and if they could get us a win in the series. We are being outshot 31-27, so they actually are generating more chances this game than us. But do we have a hero on our side? Who wants to be that guy if so? Who wants to be that guy that write their name as an OT hero? Power play for us. Come on, please. We do not score on it. Our power play needs to be better than that. Penalty kill, and we allow a power play goal, and it's freaking Ray Motto. That top line has literally killed us. We need to win 4 straight games and pull off a reverse sweep, but we are on the brink of elimination already. Our offense is just not doing anything, and I would say that goaltending effort from Kalinin was good, but we just cannot find a ways to score. Bulwark's third from Ekholm and Blunden, but then afterwards, Collins and Motto. Both those guys with 2 points. But again, those guys are the dagger. Kalinin got first start in his first ever playoff start, so shout out to Kalinin, but something is just not the same as it was when we won all those cups. Maybe I should not have traded away Caden Wilson. Maybe that was the problem, was trading away Caden. Maybe we should have traded away somebody else. Oh boy, what am I going to do now? Like, literally our leader in points is Bulbrook with the 3 goals in 3 games. We've lost back-to-back games in overtime, so hypothetically we could be up 2-1 in the series at this stage, but we've lost overtime games. I still feel like we could pull off a reverse sweep out of nowhere, but I honestly have no idea if this game's actually going to give me a reverse sweep. Like, I haven't got one of those in a while, so let's rework this again. Let's go Jacuzzi top line. Bulbrook will back to the second line. Who's been badly minus? Anybody badly minus? -3 from who was that? Aiden Irving, that's it. I'll get Irving down to the third line. Yeah, I'll get him to the third line. This might be his last career game too, which is very concerning. I hope that he doesn't retire this offseason because that would not be good. Let's go with that. That doesn't seem to work. Jeez, none of this seems to work that well. There is a -2 here, which I might honestly just keep because there's not really much else I could do. I could call up Kopecky, but he's not really much of an upgrade defensively. And it will probably go back to Kalinin. Yeah, I'll probably go back to Kalinin. And then Bergqvist will come back in eventually. Who's been the worst defenseman? A couple -3s, Backer and Visainen. I just got to keep them in the lineup at this point. It's not their fault. It's just we aren't scoring enough goals. Yeah, it's just the offense needs to find itself here. Because we have like Blunden on no goals, Ekholm has no goals, Jacuzzi's been no points, Walter's got no goals. Bulwark's got 3 of our goals in the series, and then we have Fernarski with 1 goal. And that's our only 4 goals of the series, I think. So Bulwark's got literally 75% of our goals for right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he does. I'm pretty sure. Because we got shut out in game 1 and we only have 4 goals for in 3 games. So, yeah. We are just not getting enough offense. And the fact that Bulbrook even has 3 goals is quite outstanding. So, well, we have a hill to climb. Will we be able to summit Mount Everest and get back into the series at all? Because we got to win a game on home ice, a game on the road, a game on home ice, and then we got to win game 7 on the road, which would be really tough. But if any team could do it, it's a team like ours that's experienced, but obviously we got to play complete 360. Well, actually, not 360 would put us back to the same spot. Complete 180 of what we're doing right now, because right now we're allowing a bit too much goals and we're not scoring enough. The last 2 games have been better defensively. The first game obviously sucked, but we need to have some offense here. Like, we've not been able to score at all. 4 goals in 3 games is literally like just over a goal a game. And that's very, very bad. So here you go. Game number 4. Looking to fight off elimination. It's going to be a real-time simulation. Can we force a game 5? Let's just take it 1 game at a time, okay, boys? Take it 1 game at a time. Or 1 period even at a time, for that matter. Can we find a way to score first? Yes, we can. Jacuzzi's on the board in the playoffs. Love to see it. So that's our 3rd guy to score a goal in the series. So Arthur on the board. Nice to see our top line getting it going a little bit. Hopefully we can get some other guys scoring here in this game as well. Shots are 14-11 to favor the Preds after 1, but we do have a 1-0 series lead. Can we get some insurance in the second period? We haven't had that much multi-goal games. We've only had that one multi-goal game, which was game 2. So if we could find a way to score more goals in this next period, that would be pretty huge. See what happens in period number 2. See if we can get some insurance. Stay tied up. It's Gaudreau who's got 2 goals in the series, and Luongo scores for them on the power play. Now they're getting goals from not that top line as well, which is not ideal. And we found ourselves in a 2-1 deficit here. Man, I must have been way too overconfident going into the series. I didn't expect us to have this much trouble against a really good Nashville team, but Nashville's definitely proven they're a good team. Even though they won the President's Trophy, it seems like they actually could be a team that wins the Stanley Cup as well. Because Rodin has been completely lights out against us as well. That's not what we want to see. Shots are 27-20 in favor of the Preds. It's a 2-1 game for them. We're a period away from being eliminated in a sweep, which is something that has not happened probably since like way back. I don't even know if we've ever been swept in this series. I feel like if we did, it would have been back when like Nick Ehlers was playing for us, Kyle Connor. Like, we're definitely very close to the end of the series. I could feel it in my bones, but at the same time, the episode after next episode would be pre-recorded, so yeah, we're probably gonna have to get into the last season, almost maybe when I'm in BC. I honestly have no idea at this stage, but depends on the retirements that we get. But right now, looks like our season might be coming to an end here. But once keep hopeful that we can tie this game up, maybe extend it for another game and keep pushing. But let's see what happens. Period number 3, looking to stay off elimination. Can we tie this game up? Come on, guys. Give me some hope here. Like, Aiden Irving has not done anything. Dadonov scores. Of course, they have a guy named Dadonov, too. That motherfucker, right? Bernarski pulls us back within 1, so it's a 3-2 game. Do we have enough to tie this game up, or are we going to lose by 1 goal again? Final few minutes. Let's, should I intervene? You know what? We're going to intervene and watch some of this just in case Aiden Irving's last game. I am going to watch some of it, because might as well. Let's actually use these jerseys. Just so I could get a screenshot of Aiden Irving if he's actually out there. Let's remove my face, but it looks like we might get swept. But I still want to watch some gameplay of this anyways, just to see if we could find a way to tie this game up and get it to an overtime. And like I said, with it being potentially Aiden Irving's last game, I'd like to get a screenshot of him out there at least one more time. If he ends up going out there, which he might not. He might end up being just on the bench the entire time. Still down by a goal. We're only in the last 2 minutes. We need 1 goal to tie it up and fight off elimination potentially. But we got to get that puck. Gaudreau shoots. Big save there. Oh, man, they already have full pressure. God damn it. That's not ideal when we're in the dire straits the last few minutes of the game. Here's Jaqueezi. Arthur, and maybe in his last game as a Jet. Who knows? Blundin to Ekholm, and that's turned away. We're going to get a face-off in their zone with 49 seconds left, so that's pretty huge. Hopefully Aiden Irving gets out there so we can see if he can get another chance at a goal. He is not out there. We did not pull our goalie. Why didn't we pull our goalie? I should have maybe went to coach mode, but we did not pull our goalie, which is kind of controversial. When you have a face-off in the offensive zone, you got to pull your goalie, especially at that time. Ekholm finds Blundin. Now we've pulled the goalie. Blundin throws it to Jaqueezi over to Ekholm. He can't get the shot. Scarlett with it, and he had to backtrack out of the zone. Aiden Irving is out there in potentially his last career shift, which is not great. Aiden Irving with it. He gets crunched. Of course he does. Nashville's just too good, man. Oh, boy. We managed to hold it in their zone, which is good, but can we get possession back of the puck? No, we can't. We're just letting them hold on to it. The Nashville Predators look like they're going to pull off the sweep. Yep, they're going to pull off the sweep and eliminate us in 4 games as Collins gets the empty net goal. And Aiden Irving's career might be over at the hands of the Nashville Predators. That top line is just way too good, man. It's hard to contain. Really sucks. Let's just end that. Boom. Don't really care about the replay on that sense. Oh, man, that sucks. That sucks a lot. And there you go. We are eliminated via sweep. I think that's the first time that's happened in a very, very long time. Of course, that really sucks, man. Of course, if it's Aiden Irving's last game too, that'll suck even more. But I do want to get a screenshot of Aiden just because, like I said, this could be his last game. We don't know for a fact. But obviously it would be nice to get a screenshot of him just for any player reference cards and stuff. Oh, boy. Let's see. Let's get him when he was coming off the bench, so to speak, maybe. Actually, let's get him right here. Yeah, there he is. There's the man. The man, the myth, the legend. Let's get this a little bit more centered. That looks good. Let me remove my face so I don't need my face in the screenshot. Boom. Perfect. All right, well, we have been swept, and that might be it for this Jets team in terms of good playoff runs. You never know. I literally thought we had a good chance of being a cheese team this year, but man, was I wrong. Man, was I wrong. We only scored a total of 6 goals in that 4-game span, and 3 of them were from one guy. Goddamn, that was definitely our worst playoff run I think I've seen in quite some time, if not the worst we've had. But look at that. Bulbrook on 3 goals. You had Blundin on 3 assists. Vernarski had 2 goals. Ekholm had 2 assists. Everybody else was a point and below. Jeez. Yeah, that was the worst offensive series we've ever had. We only had 3 guys scoring goals, too. Wow. That is terrible. And then defensively, no points from the defenders. So Vandermeer was a +1. Scarlett was a +3, which is nice. But the defenders didn't do a single thing in the playoffs, which is weird considering Vandermeer is a great offensive defenseman. And then goalies, Kalinin was good. Kalinin was good. But Bergqvist was very meh. Do we trade Bergqvist to free up cap space in the offseason? That could be something. That could be something. We'll see. But obviously, let's simulate to the award winners and all that stuff. Wrap up this 2041 season. But very disappointing playoff run for your Winnipeg Jets, unfortunately. I was definitely hoping for more of a longer playoff run. That's why I wanted to record this on a Sunday instead of recording it like on Tuesday. Montreal's fired their head coach. Okay. And the Anaheim Ducks are going to win another Stanley Cup. Rockford wins the AHL, so we didn't even lose to the best team in the entire league. But Anaheim has pulled off a back-to-back, I believe, because I think they won last year too, if I remember right. But the playoff tree, Anaheim beats Carolina in the Cup Finals via sweep. They also took out Nashville in that conference final, so Nashville almost get to the Cup Finals for the first time, but they're also going to lose to a good Ducks team. So there is the little playoff bracket. Is this back-to-back for the Ducks? I think it is. No, it's not. 2 in the last 3 years. So the Ducks, finally, after our team dropping off a bit, they've been able to have an opportunity to win cups. So at least shout out to them because they do deserve those Stanley Cup wins, but that kind of hurts seeing them winning all these cups. But we do have still 2 cups in the last 5 years. It feels like it's been a lot longer because we've definitely fallen off a cliff these last few years. Cons won the Art Ross Trophy and the Hart. Nylander won the Norris, not a surprise. Afinasenkov, the Lady Byng. Yandel, the Calder. Koivisto, the Conn Smythe. So Koivisto's got 2 Conn Smythes for the Ducks. So that's interesting. Gabriel Degg, our former goalie, wins the Vezina for the Rangers. Jennings also going to Gabriel Degg. Follett for Montreal, the Masterton for the 3rd consecutive year. That's kind of crazy. So he's been the worst player plus-minus wise, I think, for the last 3 seasons. Boston's head coach is Jack Adams. Bedard to Selke for the 2nd consecutive year. Collins the 2nd, Lindsay in a row for him. And Yanni Koivisto also wins another Maurice Richard back-to-back. Him and Pekka Koivisto have been really good. And then Aiden Irving's just smack dab in between them, which is kind of funny. In terms of the AHL, anybody that I know? Probably not at this stage. No. All right. So, disappointing season. But now we got to find out if Aiden Irving has decided to call it quits or not. I feel like he was going to retire at 35 when I drafted him and such, because usually when you have a later round steal that's like elite and all that, they usually retire at 35, it feels like. So I think this could be Aiden's last year, but I'm hoping it's not, kind of. But at the same time, if it frees us up cap space, so be it. But is it the last year of Aiden Irving, and do we need a new captain for next season? Let's see. Because that's what we find out after this draft. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this. Let's go. I forgot about this. Okay, that makes at least this season a little bit more bearable. I honestly forgot. So we win the draft lottery. We stay at number 1, which is a franchise left winger. because of the trade we made with Goddard. We traded Goddard to New Jersey for a first-round pick, unprotected. And we have won a franchise player in the draft. I completely forgot about that, even though I just recorded the other episode not that many days ago. Let's go. That's a massive win. If only we could have won the Stanley Cup this year as well, then it would have been like a crazy dual whammy. But winning a draft lottery with a franchise guy via a trade, that is fantastic. Oh boy, wow. That is one of the best things I've ever seen. So shout out to that. So Goddard getting dealt to New Jersey ends up landing us a franchise player. Well, we definitely made the right move to change Goddard and get him to New Jersey instead. Damn. That's impressive. Whew. Well, I am really excited about the draft ahead now for sure at that rate. But did we lose Aiden? No, we did not. We did not lose Aiden Irving, which is kind of not great, but it is what it is. Let's take a look at anyways the retirements. So, in terms of centers, Tim Stützle has retired, and Anton Lundell. Damn, we're at this stage already where all these young guys in real life are retiring. Damn, okay. I see how it is. So some pretty solid names there. Sean Farrell, the best left winger to retire. Damn, it sucks kind of that Aiden didn't retire, though, because we technically have a replacement lined up for him now at first overall. Damn, okay. That's an interesting one now. Quinn Hughes, the best defenseman, retired. Jake Sanderson. Damn, yeah, there's some pretty good names in this retirement crop. But, man, how did we win the draft lottery? That's friggin' awesome. Didn't I used to have this Nilstorp? I feel like, yeah, this is the Nilstorp I acquired from the Rangers way back, right? Yes, and he never played an NHL game for us. He played 3 AHL seasons, or 4 AHL seasons, before we dealt him. That's interesting. Goalies, Devin Levi has retired. The guy that we played a lot in the Stanley Cup Finals, like a couple times, 2 times at least. Kosa, Ratslav, and Vinny. All right. So no retirement to Aiden Irving is nice to see. Kind of. Because I don't know what we're going to do in terms of roster space. Like, we might not even need Jaquezie coming back if we have that franchise guy now, but it's going to be interesting to see what we end up doing. Let's go continue simulating. But yeah, we have the first overall pick this year. Damn, we're going to look at the draft class last just because it's the most interesting part. But first and foremost, the contract situation. This is who's up for renewal. We will have to free up some cap space probably if we want to get all these guys back, but Jaquezzi's still trying to get over $10 million. For 1 year, he's not too expensive, so we might be able to bring him back. However, Kavusari's potential went from low elite to medium elite, which is kind of weird, but he's not going to probably reach that. At least he's still an RFA. I don't think Kress is going to come back, especially at, yeah, that asking price is a bit steep. He's dropped down to a medium 4 from a medium elite. Harrison's still RFA. Vaisainen might not come back. DePenta's still an RFA for 1 more year, I think. So I don't really know who on this team is going to come back. Scarlett might not come back next year, to be honest. So we have a lot of a logjam of prospects. And in our goaltending situation, Kalinin could come back. Like I said, though, do we decide to trade away Bergfist to free up some cap space even? Because that could be something we do. But this franchise player that we're going to be able to bring in might be able to give us another Stanley Cup run, which is awesome. But who knows how good of an overall he is. In terms of prospect reports, we got some statistical growth as you would expect. King got a lot of natural growth, which is nice. So he's going to be more of a depth / 4th line guy next season, which means we want to maybe free up some roster space. Aiden Irving has dropped down to a 79 after 1 year. Holy crap. Okay, no wonder he dropped off so much in the playoffs in terms of production. Wow. So he's a 79 and he's making $10 million right now. Whew. Didn't expect him to drop off that hard after 1 year. He is still listed as a 3rd line checking forward, though. But Aiden Irving is going to probably retire at 36, since he didn't retire this year. That's a steep decline for him. I still think he could put up a lot of goals and all that, but man, that's insane. We have a lot of young prospects that could end up making the NHL too, like Holmquist could end up making it. Maybe this low lead and Cutler could be getting close to being a depth forward. I honestly don't know. But we are getting some good growth in the system, which is obviously good to see. So there is our prospects. And final thing, the thing you've been waiting for, the draft class stuff. Let's actually take a look at the draft board here. So we have the first overall pick. We have 20th. We also have 2 second-round picks. We have a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and a 6th. So first and 20. Obviously, at first overall, we're taking that franchise guy. But 20th, I honestly have no idea what we're taking. But let's take a look at what we have just won because of the New Jersey Devils. Brian Marsh. He's a medium franchise power forward. Sucks that we aren't going to get to see this guy's entire career pan out, but look at his attributes and all that. Like, he's just the perfect replacement for Aiden Irving when Aiden decides to call it quits. He also played left and right side, which is awesome, so he's more useful in that sense. But Brian Marsh is amazing. He's 6'5", 212 pounds. He's a big boy. Big boy. So he's definitely our first overall selection. At 20th, what are we going to potentially get? We didn't have this guy scouted out. That's okay. This guy's probably a top 6. I honestly don't even know what we need at this stage. Like, I feel like a lot of these prospects won't even end up making an impact in the remainder part of the series. So almost the first overall pick is the only thing that matters. Like, afterwards, the draft class looks like it drops off considerably. There is some medium 6s here. Like Andras and Teselios. So there is some options. And in goalies, there's like Perez. Yeah, to be honest, this draft class isn't super strong after that franchise guy. I'm hoping the franchise guy's like an 84 overall, because that would be amazing. But it honestly could push Aiden Irving almost out of the lineup, which is kind of insane. Because think of him being on our lineup, so he's a left/right winger. If we look at our group right now that we have a lot of wingers, so we might have to move out some people. But right now we have Blunden, who's a left winger. Walter, who's a left winger. Harrison's a center, technically. Bohms is a left winger. We have Kang as a left winger, who's more of a depth option. Right wing, we have Bulbrook, who's a right winger. Jacuzzi, Kavusari, and Waters. So maybe we do not bring back Jacuzzi. I know some of you guys are going to suggest to trade away Aiden Irving, but he needs to retire in this club, even if he's like a 4th-line option, I feel like. So, yeah, we have a lot of right wingers. We have a lot of right wingers. We have a lot of left wingers. And obviously, the franchise guy has to play in those positions. He probably could play center too, hypothetically, maybe based on face-off stats, but I don't think I would put him in over Ekholm or Bickle. Vernarski's our 3rd-line center, so yeah, we'd have to think about trading away somebody on the wingers or letting somebody go. Like, we could trade away Bulbrook, who was our best playoff player, making 5.3 for the next few years. And then we have Jacuzzi we could potentially re-sign, but he is going to be expensive. And then from a defensive standpoint, our defensive core is going to look completely different next season because there's a chance we let go of all three of those UFAs. And then our goalies might be similar if we don't trade Bergqvist. So going to be interesting, but I'm very excited for that franchise player for sure. Huge win by trading away Goddard, because Goddard didn't even get New Jersey to the playoffs, but he was good for them. But there's a chance he's going to be a UFA in the offseason as well. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to the 2041 draft, where we have the first overall selection despite having a playoff appearance that was rather lackluster. We're going to get some reinforcements, and that could definitely help us in terms of maybe getting like Vandermeer and Jacuzzi and maybe Aiden Irving even one more Stanley Cup. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.